So, Juan,
Yeah.
you like magic.
No. What made you imply this?
You like Dungeons and Dragons.
Where are you finding my things?
What if I put magic in Dungeons and Dragons? How would you feel about that?
You're trying to woo me, sir.
Well, the upcoming expansion, what is it called again? Forgotten Realms.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm glad you answered that question.
You're welcome. I am totally helpful.
Forgotten Realms. I've been waiting a long time for this expansion. Is it taking over the core for this year?
I believe so, and then they're still doing a core this year, I think. I have to double check.
That's neither here nor there. I've been waiting a very long time for this. So they recently released like the first looks at it, and immediately I got proxies. So we're gonna be looking at the proxies today, and we're gonna make some predictions as well as get some judgments on the future. Questions, comments, concerns?
Immediate proxies.
Immediate proxies.
Okay.
So let's get into it.
Okay.
Kicking it off with the lands. Very basic lands. Not as fantastic as the all-text lands, but the art on this one is pretty good.
All text lands.
All text lands, that's right. Now, each one of these...
I'm missing a color.
Oh, excuse me.
Greeny
You're right. Let me
beanies.
move them in.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
Now, everyone can see them. So, talking about the lands, if you take a good look at it, they're centered around, like, dungeons and, like...
Are they?
places, yeah. So you got a cavern over here. Obviously, a swamp being
That looks
swamp
like the
things.
Underdark.
You know what? I didn't even think that deep into it. These could be actual places set in the universe of Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, Underdark. You expecting to meet
shit.
hostile drow in the ancient ruin? But they
Yeah,
fled
that
long
is
ago.
the Underdark. Oh,
Underdark?
shit. And, what is this?
Alarmed by the news you brought, the storm giant, king of the Maelstrom, has called his kin to the council. I don't get the reference, but storm giants.
It's like the Storm King's Thunder.
This one, before the elf queen will aid you, you must find a way to cure the strange rot afflicting roots, like centered around like quests.
Oh, I get it. So you
Right.
enter a new land.
This new land
and they
is-
have quests for you.
And
that's
adventures,
cool.
things that you're going to be running into. I like the concept,
A little flavor.
flavor, right? And ultimately, the whole expansion centered on flavor. So
So much flavor.
so much flavor.
And they only showed like what, 5?
So far,
Five
they
cards
only
or
released
something?
like 5 cards. We're gonna take a look through all of them now, but just starting it off with the lands, immediately setting off on the right foot with some
Bringing
very
you down to Flavor Town.
exactly, some very flavorful lands. So I'm ready to see what comes next. We might as well get right into the main event, the one everyone's been freaking out over.
Yeah,
Right,
my baby girl Tiamat.
Tiamat. So costing 2 generic and a Woober, so 7. You get a 7/7 Dragon God.
That when an ETB is, you get to search your library for 5 dragons and put them into your hand, which
Now-
is pretty good.
I'm not one to play dragons in Magic. You,
I already have an dragon, yeah.
yeah, you may or may not have dabbled with the scalies before.
Definitely a good staple for the deck for a finishing setup. I would say it wouldn't replace Dragon, but if you're trying to find a good dragon to put more dragons in, it's also a fair commander as well.
Okay. What dragons would you probably pull from a deck if you play an Tiamat?
If I already have Dragon on the field, then I would probably get like something with more haste, another dragon to pull more dragons out from my grave, or to like summon more dragons from my hand or from my deck. I don't have any names right now
Right.
off the top of my head, but the value off of this to set up for your next turn is tremendous.
Now tell me about Tiamat in the lore. What is she?
She's a scary bitch.
Okay.
Basically, cultists believe in the dragon god for her to come back into the realms by summoning her to the specific plane that they're in Faerun, and they they eventually successfully do so, but whoever you are, the
adventurer.
heroes, the adventuring heroes do stop this, and or they fight her.
So she's just a general and the big bad.
Big bad, yeah.
The big bad of the campaign.
One of the big bads, yeah.
Okay. So I like it, kicking it off strong, mythic rarity. So probably, what's your guess on the price for this? Thinking about Dragon's price in relation to this.
I would say maybe start off at like, I don't know, I'm starting off low, maybe 20, 25.
Immediate $25.
Yes.
That's low.
And then if it's it for a high need and people are going to start making dragon decks again because of Tiamat, then it'll probably go up to 30 to maybe 50. Like what's his name?
There's a lot of them.
There's a lot of what's his names.
There's a lot of names like that you don't remember.
Yeah, the Eldrazi dude.
Oh.
Not Ugin. Whoa.
Oh. The Eldrazi Dragon? The one who's in the Eldrazi decks?
Just an Eldrazi Dragon?
No, but Ugin is
Don't
the dude.
scare me, that sounds cool. I forgot his name.
Good talk then. Are you talking about Emrakul?
Ulamog.
Ulamog, my man.
Ulamog is like 50.
No way. I have an Ulamog. He was like $23 last I checked. I know because I had to get one because my girlfriend lent me hers and I dropped it outside in the rain.
You had a Ulamog, Amy?
and I had to...
My whole Eldrazi deck.
You
was,
had an
like,
Ulamog?
I gave it to him.
I dropped it one day and I didn't want her to get mad, so immediately bought one on TCG Player. So, there's that. Well, I think I'm going to end the story on Tiamat right now and move on. Alright, moving on. Let's take a look at
Portable
a
hole.
portable hole.
What's it called? I think there was something like this in D&D. I forgot what it's actually called.
Well, that was actually my first question. Are they making a reference to
A spell. Or no, I think it's a magic item. That it makes like a little circle on any surface, and then that hole is like a pocket that you could fold up.
That sounds amazing, but how is that different than the bag of holding?
It's almost like it, but you could put it on any surface.
What if you put a portable hole in the bag of holding?
That is a good question, and I think that breaks the game a little. Because my brain kind of hurt thinking about that.
So, back to the portable hole card. It's a 1 white mana artifact. When it enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls, so long as its mana value is 2 or less.
I could see some value with this for, like, flickering stuff.
Well, here's the last part that kind of messes that up. The exile card comes back when portable hole leaves the battlefield.
Oh, yeah.
So you'll need a flicker / or you can flicker it out by removing it, but you'll also need to remove the artifact at a certain point.
Also helps for, like, certain artifacts that the enemy controls, like lightning greaves or, like, some equipment that might be troublesome in the early game.
That's actually a very good point. You could portable hold just to remove
something dangerous off something like hexproof or shroud.
Right.
Or the cloak.
The shroud cloak?
Yeah.
That's a good one too. Those are all very good points, things I haven't considered. I was ready to just write off portable hole of like, just because its mana value has to be 2 or less, I felt like
it wouldn't be too much, but it can take care of certain things that would be annoying in that certain circumstance.
But if we're gonna run portable hole,
you can also take away a soul ring, stop their ramp.
That's true. Soul ring, mana crypt.
Turn 1 as well.
Yep.
Stop them on their turn 2.
You're selling me on this card already. I might just throw it into my all proxy deck I have over here on hand.
There's only like 3-4 real cards.
We'll get to that another time.
All right, but, in a little bit, yeah.
But back to portable hole. Yeah, I think it's actually a pretty good card. It
has its value, but it's gonna be hard to pull off in certain circumstances unless you literally have it on a good first turn when someone else has a good first turn.
So it's your
counter first turn.
It's your counter first turn. Okay, I could see that.
And white does do that.
Yeah.
Like control for, especially on turn 1. That seems within the white.
All right. So I like Portable Hole now. You've sold me.
I didn't think it would be good until I started thinking about it,
Right.
to be honest.
You've sold me on Portable Hole. So let's keep that in the back burner. Keep an eye on that for our next games. Moving on into the Prosperous Innkeeper. It's a 2 mana, so 1 generic and a green, 1/1 halfling citizen.
That little boy.
So that's interesting. Do you see a lot of? I don't think I've seen a lot of halflings inside the.
No, not at all.
Right.
I think
Citizen too.
I think there was maybe halflings or something similar to that.
Well, last they're Kithkins.
Yeah,
I heard.
Kithkins are kind of like that.
But this is a literal halfling.
Yeah.
So
there are token citizens though.
True. There are citizen tokens. So let's look into its effect. When it enters the battlefield, create a treasure token right off the bat. So
Free.
instant mana for 2 mana, which is good. It's a 1/1, like I said before. Now here's the thing. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life.
Oh, it's another it's another Soul Warden.
It's
for green.
another Soul Warden for green. Like, green hasn't had enough amazing things. You need ramp for green? Don't worry. Prosperous Innkeeper's got you.
Got you. You need a little bit of healing? We got you.
Prosperous Innkeeper's got you.
He's really good.
Just glancing at this, I'm like, this is...
He helps with the early game mana fixing, and he helps you for to sustain within the game if he stays on the field.
He's a fantastic early drop. Mid to late game, I don't see a lot of value from him.
Unless you're making tokens.
Unless you're making tokens. You're making reference back to the citizen aspect of it.
Oh yeah, you could make a bunch of citizen tokens. That's true.
I don't know if we have to do more research on what exactly is a citizen token.
It's well, it specifically says human citizen. I
Okay.
think.
Well, maybe I could see the value of it. I'm not a big fan that it's green. I'm not gonna lie to you. It could have been literally any other color, and I'd be cool with it.
You expect it to be red.
Even if it's in red, that'd be cool. If it was in red, that'd be amazing.
I would say that would be the first red to give you life back.
True.
Well, I would say almost, because I don't know every single card in the world, but like there probably is one. But that would be amazing because it would be good in like Goblin decks with Krenko, and that would be the one outlet where Krenko can prosper.
And that'd be fantastic in a world that is not reality.
Yeah, I know, right?
And unfortunately, in this reality, we have a green Prosperous Innkeeper. He's looking really good. Like I said, early
I can see
game
it being
he's
really
gonna
good
be-
for mana fixing
Yep.
if you have multicolored deck, and he helps you out within the mid to late game for early health.
He also has some cool synergies. Being a 1/1, he works well with what's that card? A Love Struck Beast. You ever seen
Oh
Love
yeah, that works with him too. Yeah, as long as you have a 1/1
He can
creature.
attack, and he's a 5/5 for 3 mana.
Yeah.
So Love Struck Beast will work great with Prosperous Innkeeper. Like I said, this is a really good card. I just wish it wasn't green.
I like how it's green.
Moving on, next up we have the Vorpal Sword. Now, when I first spoke to you about this one,
Love this.
the first thing you said was, "Oh, it's the sword."
It's the sword.
Now, we played a couple campaigns, and for the last time, whenever a dragon was mentioned within the campaign, you're like, "I need this special type of sword, DM. Can I get this sword?"
I will give you my soul, my money, my whole background. Take it.
Okay, so what is a Vorpal Sword?
Well, basically, well, actually, it's a long sword. I think it can be a great sword. That says when you critically strike with this sword, you may decapitate this creature's head, making it instantly die.
Oh, it's an instant kill.
Yes, but the DM can also describe whether or not it would die or not. If it does not die, whether it through magical means or if it has multiple heads,
So
then it takes extra damage instead of instantly dying.
if you roll a crit, the creature's dead.
Yes.
Or the creature's decapitated no matter what, and the DM has to work around that?
Depending on the DM, yes.
Okay, what is a Vorpal sword though? Like, what material is it made out of? Is it made of something special? What makes it the ability to instantly decapitate?
Well, it is a magic sword, so within it being a magic sword is probably the property of the magic itself,
Right.
than the sword.
So let's take a look at this. It's an artifact equipment, 1 black mana for this sword. Oh, excuse me, just banged into the table with my knee.
What's it called? It gives you +2/+0 and Death Touch, which is pretty good for a 1-drop for equipped for 2 black.
And equipped for 2 black. That's really good. Now the main thing that people are liking is the special ability,
which is amazing.
5 generic and 3 black mana gives you the ability until the end of turn. Whenever Vorpal Sword gains, whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, that player loses the game.
Which is tremendous in any format. You just lose by me touching you. I would say it's faster than Infect, obviously.
8 mana
To just...
potentially end the game.
Which you can probably do sooner than you think.
Yeah. Especially in black,
Yeah, exactly.
which black gives you...
What's it called? There's Dark Ritual. You could get a Soul Ring, and I think there's one more thing, and then that's already 8 mana on like turn 3
8 mana turn 3.
or turn 4 maybe.
Right.
At most.
If you have things like that.
That's speculations on how good your hand is.
Right.
But at most, it can kill somebody pretty soon.
Let's say even early game, you have a equipped 2 black, and the creature has +2 and Death Touch now. Now you have a Death Touch creature on the board.
Yeah.
For
A cheap equip cost.
maybe-
And then you could just keep swinging at somebody who has big creatures that he
Right.
doesn't want to let go.
let's be generous and say you play Vorpal Sword turn 1, turn 2 you have a creature drop for 2 mana, and turn 3 now you equipped it, and now you have a swinging boy coming for your face.
Exactly. But one thing that could actually take care of that is the thing we were talking about ordering.
Oh, it's a portable hole.
Yeah, it could take care of that problem
Just like
at
drop
least.
that.
But don't forget, when the portable hole goes away, a Vorpal Sword comes back.
Right.
So it's only an answer to a small solution of the time.
Right. My last question before we move on from Vorpal Sword: why is it black?
That is a good question. I will say because
Here's the thing. I'm cool with the effect requiring black mana.
yeah.
Why is the card itself black?
Again, that is a good question. I would say probably because not anybody's gonna get this sword generally. Like, not a good
You know
person.
what?
Not a good person's just gonna decapitate somebody. You know.
Let me be real. I as I'm arguing against it, I understood immediately why they just said it's black. Because I'm thinking Roga, son of Roga,
Get it for free.
get it for free, and now we're swinging, and we're hitting someone in the face. So Roga's a red creature, for those of you who don't know. So making it black kind of like limits what he's got.
certain decks. I assume. Well, yeah, I could see I
Making
could
it-
see it
making
being
it only
more
black.
fair, only black.
Yeah. Once again, why black though?
Once again.
Why black? It could have been red. Once again, that's me talking about Roga. I'm just trying. Maybe even white. Maybe white. White would have worked.
You just wanted it wrong, guy.
I just wanted Roga's deck. But
just
even
wanted
in
Roga.
white would have worked too. I understand the balancing and why it was made black.
Yeah, I could see why the insta-kill is black.
Yeah.
The equip cost, I could see being different, but I understand why the identity is black.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think I've said all I needed to say about Vorpal Sword. Make it colorless, and I'll be happy.
It's a really good though.
All right. Last but not least on our list, we're here with Power Word Kill. So, another black spell or black card. 1 generic and a black for an instant card Destroy target non-angel, non-demon, non-devil, non-dragon creature. Very specific. So long as it's not any of those 4 cards, you have a removal for 2 mana.
Very powerful. In D&D, this is a 9th level spell. Or at least I think an 8th level spell.
Right. Very high up there.
Yeah. This spell isn't usually cast willy-nilly. It's usually you only get 1 slot for this spell. And deriving it from you can't kill these specific creatures is probably because of creatures of that type in D&D can cast these spells.
Oh. That makes a lot of sense. So
But I don't know if angels can cast Power Word Kill. I think they can. I gotta double check that, but other than that, I know the others can. And I know, certain, not every, obviously. Right. Like you're gonna see a fucking small devil come out of nowhere, like, and then, like,
just Power Word Kill.
Yeah, your whole party. Well, that one party member.
So I like the art on this specifically.
It looks great.
Even the flavor text at the bottom, Arami issued a long heroic challenge. Then the Lich felled him with a single word. I just love the idea. Of
just like I came to fuck your shit up. Oh yeah, die.
Avada Kedavra. And he's dead.
I came to stop you, the tremendous evil of this land. I would like to see you try. Hiya!
So, we can agree that this is extremely powerful.
Yes.
Once again, uncommon too, so I expect that you and
I expect everyone to have at least 3 of these.
I'm definitely going to keep it. I want one in my deck, and
I want one in every deck that I have because mostly I have black.
True that. How do you feel this would affect the the angels, demons, devils, and dragons? So how many? Off the top of my head, I have none of these decks. I have none of these decks.
I have all of these decks.
You have all of those decks.
Yes.
You have angels, demons, devils, and dragons.
Yeah.
Individually.
Yes.
So,
individually.
So
I am a maker. Yes.
Imagining, I'm not going to see a lot of play with this.
Well, determines on what kind of deck you're fighting.
Yeah.
You gotta remember, determining on your play group, it will determine on what you pick within your decks.
Right.
Like, if your guys are more friendly, then you would have... If you're gonna go group hug, you would have more group huggy instead of pillow fort.
Right.
If everybody's on the same table with the same page, being like, oh, this is just a friendly match, I'm gonna bring out the friendly deck. If you have more competitive friends who are like mid-tier, trying to just have some fun while still coming at you, I guess this is okay. If you have more competitive people, then run this.
Well, the good thing about Power Word Kill, and I've been thinking about it as you've been talking, is this is going to be stopping combos.
Oh yeah, it's an instant. It's an insta-die.
It's an instant stop this combo now.
Is Power Word Kill a reaction?
No, Power Word Kill is
an action, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting how they put it as an instant.
That is a good point. If this thing was a sorcery, it'll feel a lot more balanced.
I feel like if it was a sorcery and if it was Power Word Kill and if it was a sorcery, I feel like they would have changed it to do more.
Yeah.
Instead of one thing, which I understand now that it's an instant and you want to do it now. That's why it has a little cost.
2 mana removal for black. Like black didn't have enough removal.
We need more. We need more free magic.
So, we've reviewed all of the opening or all the opening spoilers and my increasingly growing proxy collection. Let's talk about, now that we have an idea on what the cards are going to look like this set, what to expect for the future. What are you keeping an eye out on? What do you want to see more of as we move into the the
Well, my favorite color is black, so
Right.
I'm looking forward to anything nefarious and fun looking at all. The artifacts look also interesting, which they already have Bag of Holding, but I want to see more. Like, will they bring like the unmovable rod just for shits and giggles, or maybe like the wand of what's it called? I gave it to you.
Oh, Wand of Wishes or something?
Wand of Wonders.
Wand of Wonders.
I wonder if they're gonna put Wand of Wonders like the Chaos Wand, like you get something random.
So those are the things that you want in, right?
That would
you're
be
look-
fun, yeah.
What do you want to see in this set?
Well, there's also a token that's a Beholder. I would
I-
love to see a Beholder creature.
I did see a Beholder token.
I feel like it would be towards black or red.
Yeah, definitely black. I'm definitely leaning more black. I wouldn't be surprised to see a blue Beholder, though.
But yeah, they are
Blue Mind Flayers.
Mind Flares. That would be good.
Blue and black. I will make if they come out with some good Mind Flayers, I'm going to make a whole blue and black deck.
That would be
Just
cool.
focused on Mind Flayers.
I can see Beholders becoming like either the Aberration or the Aberration subtype for creatures, or maybe just the Beholder creature type, and then I can see them going for their for like a tribal deck, because there are different kinds of Beholders out there, like Something Kisses and the skull ones.
I mean, you got the dude on the cover of that book.
Yeah, that's just like the OG Beholder, though.
So, some things that I actually don't think we're going to see a lot of in this set are wizards. I don't think we're going to see a lot of mages and spellcasters, because we just came from the Strixhaven expansion,
Which did have a lot of wizards.
which was all wizards.
Actually, no, not all wizards. They've been coming out with most of it actually as warlocks.
That is a good point. There were a bunch of warlocks in that set.
Which I was out like a long time ago. I was thinking I want to make a warlock deck, but there's like doo-doo ass warlocks.
Now we
And
got
now
some
there's
real-
warlocks. There's decent amount of warlocks. Not too sufficient, but enough to make something out of it. But I do like the warlock that makes demons. I love
yeah,
him.
that guy.
I want to make him.
He's already expensive immediately upon release.
I gotta see that.
He's expensive already because people have been building him. Because
course.
he can be your commander.
Exactly.
And you can cast him by sacrificing creatures.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I
So,
gotta read up on him more.
every time
then.
you cast his sorcery, he sacrifices creatures. And he creates a big freaking demon, which is bad. Right? But then it goes back to the command zone, costs 2 more. Oh no, I have to sacrifice a little more creatures just to pay for the commander
Commander
tax.
cost? Oh, okay.
So that's a really good deck. But we're getting off topic.
Yeah,
here.
we are.
Back to this. I'm predicting not a lot of wizards. Obviously, we've already gotten spoiled by Tiamat.
Oh,
There's gonna
yeah.
be dragons.
There's definitely gonna be dragons. I know there was the golden dragon, but that was in an unset.
Yes.
And there was also
Speaking of unset,
yes.
what if they made the Sword of Dungeons and Dragons?
Well, if they made it, they already got it in N, but it's not the first time they made something unofficial official.
I want the Sword of Dungeons and Dragons. I want to roll a
It would
d20
be
and make
so
some
good.
dragons.
It would be amazing.
I want to roll a d20 and make some dragons. All right, let's move on. Let's look at the other things that might be coming up. What to predict in the set. So, where did we leave off? Oh, yes, dragons. Sword of Dungeons and Dragons.
I can
Great.
see, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, not only that, we already know that there are classes for D&D.
That leads into the next thing. I want to see some artificers.
Yeah. There's artificers, barbarians, wizards, sorcerers, warlocks.
All part of the classes, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that tipped me off on maybe they're going to be leaning more into that. Coming from the Strixhaven set, you have Mentor's Guidance. It's whenever you cast this spell, copy it. If you control a Planeswalker, Cleric, Druid, Shaman, Warlock, or Wizard, it's copied, right? Scry 1, then draw a card. The fact that they made mention to the Clerics, the Druids, the Warlocks, and the Wizards all in one card, I'm excited to see more heavier focus on the
Multiple classes that can be used for the D&D set.
exactly multiple classes going in for like say quests. This is quest for the Goblin Lord, nothing to do with this. But if they bring back the quest type system, where it's like you have to do a certain thing throughout the course of a game, and your whole party is rewarded for this.
Yeah.
I like the idea of quests in Dungeons and Dragons, and they have to find. I want them to find a way to implement that within the gameplay.
Not only that, there is a commander who works around this, right?
You
was
mean
her name?
one of my favorite commanders, Tazari?
There we go. They remade Tazri, yeah, to work around this. The only thing is, if they're gonna add more, I feel like she's a little bit behind on it.
Right.
Because if there's more possibilities, I feel like they're gonna be adding like barbarians. What's it called? Barbarians, artificers, and stuff like that within the D&D class that aren't added on her
Well,
thing.
here's the interesting thing about Tazri. As I read through her card again in preparation of this video, she costs 1 less for each creature in your party. Now, you and I know that a party consists of, through Magic the Gathering, it consists of a warrior, rogue, cleric, and wizard. But she doesn't have the text that tells you what a party consists of.
True.
They could retroactively change it. Sure, her effect would still say find cleric, rogue, warrior, wizard.
That's true. I can see that, yeah.
I feel like they should have future-proofed this by saying
might-
all of these things could have been part of a party, but
It's
you
not
can
the
only
first
have
time
4.
they've done where they had a card, they thought it was okay, right? Mm-hmm. And then they changed it up and they remake it again. They've done that a few times.
All I know is that, all right, so here's the things I'm looking for. In conclusion, right, because I can go on about Dungeons & Dragons and Magic the Gathering all day. We have food getting cold. We got to eat. So, I want Mind Flayers. I want to make a deck around Mind Flayers. That's amazing. Beholders, I'll throw that in. I like the idea of the whole Aberrations deck, and I'll make a whole deck around that if they put out enough cards.
Big brain.
Big brain, exactly. I like parties and quests, so if they build more towards that, if they release cards like that, I'm looking forward for that. I'm also curious to see Planeswalkers.
I would love to see the what's his name? The main antagonist that is
Strad?
no, not Strahd would be cool as a commander card. But I would love to see the that on the player's handbook,
Yeah.
that wizard looking skull dude.
Yes, the Lich on the cover.
Yes, I would love to see him as a planeswalker.
He would be a Planeswalker?
I feel like he would.
The craziest thing is that technically every wizard in the Dungeons & Dragons universe is a Planeswalker.
That's crazy.
Did you think about that?
No.
Every wizard can walk different planes.
You mean this little boy over here?
This little goblin, no, technically,
He's an artificer.
he's an artificer.
Never mind.
Let's
You
go
just
back.
look like a
I got a
wizard.
little boy over here. This boy, this is the one you're talking about. The Fissure Wizard can technically planeswalk like Gideon. This man is meeting your girl on a plane one day.
Alright.
So, that's a lot of stuff. Any other things in closing thoughts?
I would love to see more evil characters with more encompassing roles within the D&D.
You don't say. You're looking for more dark creatures.
Yes, like you already see the dude from the cover right there.
Is that the dude from the cover?
Well, it looks like him, but I assume not. Let me look a little closer. Kind of does, just a little bit. But I would love to see more evil cards, because evil is just fun.
Evil is not fun to fight.
It's not fun to fight, but it's fun when you're evil.
All right, Juan. Well, thanks for coming in to give me your insight on Dungeons and Dragons / Magic the Gathering.
Yes.
I'm probably gonna bother you the next time they release more leaks, so stand by for that.
All right. I want to see more too.